machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Welcome to the Thursday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. It is Friday Junior, folks. So the weekend is basically here. I hope everyone's having a decent Thursday. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Old Owl Hooten, welcome. Kirkenstein's Monster, Sassy, welcome. Cirrus, Michael Hasser, welcome. Bad Lefty, Bcat Boku, John Lithium, welcome, everybody. I think I got everybody. Firefly, Yeehaw F the Law, I love that. That is a fantastic content creator. Big fan. Big fan. The Vanguard. Oh, these are the Vanguardians. The Vanguardians, welcome. Poggers. Ladybug, welcome. Oh, that is so cool. Yes, please. Feel free to post that on the Discord. I'm a big fan of the pissed off. Guard the van. We don't want gear stolen behind the club. Oh my god. True. Very true. As someone who's done like very small shows, okay, back in the day, and back in the day, I mean like a couple decades ago, right? Not to age myself too much. But yeah, pretty much. Is it really that many Pokemon at this point? I mean, I stopped like paying attention. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with like 1 to Gen 3, maybe Gen 4. But yeah, I've pissed off many bartenders. Yeah, but this one in particular, this bartender in particular is pissed off at the state of things. I think it's interesting how the size of Pokemon in descriptions does not match the size of Pokemons in the game and anime. True. Alright, folks, we gotta get through some of the stuff. Thank you all for being here. If you want to support the channel, there are many ways of doing so. One of the best ways to support the channel is to spread the word, folks. Really, spreading the word just is one of the easiest and best ways to support the channel. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You can check out my show on this space every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to join the Discord as well. That's another way of keeping in touch with the channel, whatever what's going on. Poke they thems are very real. Yep. I played Pokemon Go a bit with my girlfriend. I used to actually, like, when Pokemon Go first launched, I played a little bit of Pokemon Go. Not too much because, like, I couldn't really, like, have the time. But I actually captured some gyms back in the day, years ago, when Pokemon Go to the polls was a thing. Nintendo could have made a lot of money selling Pokemon NFTs during the time where that was a thing. True. Since the crypto convos, I don't mind Pokemon convos at all. Nor Pogs or Slammer convos. Oof, that's another throwback. I think it's funny because NFTs basically existed in children's art communities before then. They were called adoptables. Fascinating. That I did not know. That I did not know at all. Alright, folks, let's get started. Let's do the thing. Pokemon Go is a fad I never engaged in. I mean, like, I briefly engaged with it. Pokemon Go away, Hillary Clinton. Agreed. Sevens, welcome. Pokemon Go is being used to train AI for delivery drones and probably more nefarious stuff. Yeah. Yep. Capitalism doing a capitalism, right? Of course. Something that was supposed to be fun and probably entertaining and fun that you were supposed to enjoy just ends up being, you know, used for nefarious stuff. Bruno, welcome. Because I feel like Pokemon Go was a pretty, like, entertaining idea on paper. Again, I just couldn't really engage with it when it was at its peak. But yeah. Really need to get a leash on the rapacious wealth-hoarding elites. Yep. Yeah, I also never did the scanning stuff either. Thank you, Michael Hassler. I forgot about that. Thank you. Check out the links, folks, and do the things, you know? Just running around the world like unleashed rabid dogs. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which... it's a good way to get people out of the house and making new friends. Yeah, like the concept. The concept is fine. Like I was very much like interested, but I just never, you know, participated. Pokemon Go was good until the game got sold to a company that was more focused on data gathering and microtransactions, from what I've heard. Makes sense. Capitalism being a capitalism, right? Cameras on cars should be regulated to only from the inside, not from the outside. Your thumbnails are the wrong way around? What? What do you mean, Bad Lefty? Did they get, like, swapped over? From, like the shorts version versus the normal stream? I just to be clear, I don't make the thumbnails. It kind of just does it. I don't have time for that. Although I should have, like, set formats. Biting indiscriminately, pissing and shitting on all the furniture, making it impossible to have nice things for people. Yep. The struggle for socialism is essentially the heretofore all of human history, long struggle for actual equality in the world, perhaps oversimplistically. Yes, this one looks like shorts. Ah, okay. Let me just double check to make sure I actually labeled everything correctly. Because that probably, might have been my fault. Make sure I'm labeling everything, correctly here. You know, that is so fascinating because, yeah, it does seem like it's... It does seem like it's fine, and then, like, when I... Okay, that's very strange. Very, very, very strange. I don't know what YouTube is doing, because it's funny. It shows it correctly on my end. I don't know if it's just like YouTube being YouTube. I'm just gonna blame YouTube because I refreshed it and it seems to be okay. I don't know. I blame you. That's fair. Are we in the Mirrorverse? No. Yeah, they said the same thing, by the way, Sassy, goes with like these new meta glasses. Just to be clear, like the new meta glasses, that data goes somewhere, by the way. That data goes somewhere. And people see that stuff, by the way. One second. I worked at the at the Fremont factory I never saw, maybe since they moved to Texas. Yeesh. My boss just said there's some ugly people referring to women of Japan. Fantastic. Like that's the type of dude that I would probably last about like 5 seconds working for, because like on the first comment of something so like blatantly misogynistic and racist, yeesh.
Tim Pool is traveling the country. He's going from Florida to Texas. Either he's been kicked out of his house by his partner or wife, or I don't know if he's traveling with his kids, or he's going around.
I'm blown away by the fact that Tim Pool has kids.
Trying to, I don't know, sell a show to somebody.
Right.
I mean, that could be a part of it too.
Looking to replace a sponsor?
We don't know. But he's in, it must be in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be interesting to see if Rogan comes on his show. Wonder if he's brought the whole thing to him.
Rogan should have him on. It'd be an epic conversation.
That would be epic.
That's
totally epic. So apparently Alex Jones either stumbled into the studio or was invited and
broke through the wall like
broke through
Kool-Aid
the wall. And as We Are Everywhere writes on the IM, his business is in the hangover phase. Not quite. Here is Tim Pool interviewing Alex Jones. And here we go.
On creation.
Indeed.
Whoa, Jesus, what was that? Yikes, Boku. What was? Can we get a Ogre Jones? Can we get a rewind on that? What was that?
And here we go.
On creation.
Indeed.
What?
The argument.
When we come back.
Wait a second.
Is this real? Is this just who he is now? Wow. Holy crap.
Can we go back?
I didn't mean to start it there.
That was amazing.
Minimum 12.
That was amazing.
deep.
Now understand that Tim Pool is in a tough position here.
I mean, like, that was it, right? That was a perfect impersonation. Tofurkeys, welcome. It was hammered on or on a lot of benzos or both. It's almost always both.
Because, and I would say, like, Tim is actually quite good at denying reality, right? And maintaining some disposition. But here it's right in his face, and his audience can see reality, and Tim can't.
These captions are going to be hilarious.
Really address it because he has too much invested in like maintaining a good relationship with Alex Jones. He's also, I think, afraid of him. I think he also wants his audience, and so it creates a chill. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to
like Tim's kind of in a pickle, right? Ever since the whole ever since his own Russiagate kind of imploded, like it seems like the whole operation that Timmy's got is it has been on the down. I bet a certain YouTuber is going to clip that Indeed and use that shit out of it in his vids. The guy with the 3D glasses. I just realized I use captions all the time with TV, movies, video games, but never on YouTube. That's interesting because I'm a big fan of captions. Okay, big fan of captions. I need my captions. Regardless, like, look, I can see fine and I can hear fine, kind of, mostly, but 100%, like, captions are a necessity. I watched Tesla vids later today and thanks outside and paid attention to detail of recent news.
Think like, how would I react if Alex Jones came in here and was like that? And I think I know exactly how I would react. I'd have one question for him. See if you can figure out from the way that Alex Jones is talking, if you can figure out what that one question would be. The first question.
Workers, you start taxing and then what? And then universal basic income? Yeah, it's not going to work. That's what he's thinking of. It is not going to work. That you are going to.
I mean, is that not just Alex Jones? I use captions if your accent is crappy. I mean, like, even if I understand perfectly, even if I understand perfectly, like, I don't know, it's just like something that I need, regardless of what media I'm consuming. Like, even in Spanish, which I understand perfectly, or English, I don't know, I just need my captions. Yeah, I have the captions for no reason. Yeah, it's like a psychological. I don't know. Maybe it's like a psychological thing for me. It's like it's like a media safety blanket. Does that make sense? It's like a media security blanket. To just kind of you know, it's like automatic for me. It has to be on. This is Alex Jones mumble rap arc. True. It helps me pay attention to what's being said. True. It helps me understand the last 0.99% of whatever I'm watching, but usually on YouTube I use my phone and I'm doing other stuff. That makes sense because, like, you're not paying attention. You're just, like, listening or casually, like, looking over. Yeah, that makes more attention. But, like, when I'm playing video games or when I'm watching a movie, or even, like, if I'm sitting down and consuming, like, media, for sure, captions. Tim is such a scumbag for letting Jones on this, Jones on in this state. He's meant to be his friend. Definitely I need them for British shows and movies, but I want them on the other percent of the time.
Sleep our own creation.
Indeed.
That is fascinating how good the captions actually worked. Indeed.
The argument.
So when will we come back? I'm gonna come back.
Come back whenever you want.
How long you awesome?
Couple weeks.
Sure. Stop us.
We're not here for it, but we're here during it. You know, one of the reasons I came down here is I was going to be playing poker at the lodge, and then the state shut them down. I'm pissed about it.
What's weird was I texted you a week ago. Somebody texted me and said,
poker with the boys.
"Hey, Tim's here. Come on the show." I'm like, "Am I supposed to be on your show?" Like, "I don't know, but play poker." But
yeah. Well, we want to do a poker game with you.
I'm gonna switch over to just doing Alex Jones impressions like this. This is very easy. This is very easy. BBC News is wild right now, acting like Iran brought instability to the region with their strikes. Why would they strike their neighbors all of a sudden? That is a prime mainstream manufacturing, prime mainstream media manufacturing for war. Despicable. And it's, you know, it's not just the BBC, but, like, yeah, it's that's really bad.
You and a few other people not so much about poker, but about having fun, goofing off, and I think it'd be really fun to play a game.
I'm ready. I'm ready. But don't follow me at Real Life Shows on X, Infowars.com. We're getting shut down.
You know,
we beat so many attacks, but finally we're shutting down like the middle of next month.
Wow.
It's gonna be insane what happens. You know.
Yeah. So this is
I think I'm gonna switch over to just Alex Jones impressions because like this is way too easy.
oh my God. Can anyone guess what the first question I would be asking at this point is? I mean, you can get around.
Just alcohol?
Yeah, exactly.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Hey, man. A little early to be drinking. You been drinking at all, or is it?
I started late though.
Okay.
I've had conversations like this with unfortunate people on the street. Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah. So
The
this
fake
is it.
receiverships, the fake auctions, all of it's happening right now.
So what are you gonna do? You're launching a new thing, or what are you doing?
Anything else goes down, we're really fine.
Are you leaving? Is that why you're saying all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am exhausted.
Well, it's good to have you.
Now this is 4 a.m. Unless you can do a table dance for me.
No.
No.
At least not on this table.
None of this. Yeah.
Maybe
no.
next time.
These things.
Oh my God. Oh man, yeah. The captions are shockingly pretty accurate, actually. Yeah, I'm boycotting the BBC. It's not easy, but I am. That's fair. I don't think I have any. I honestly, I rarely use the BBC as a source, mainly because like they're across the pond. But yeah.
Things are probably like
Yeah, it's
$20.
really not going to withstand anybody.
Oh no, these are
standing on it.
okay.
Well, I
Bring
mean,
my
they're
wife
not
over
good,
there.
but-
Pull it
Maybe
off.
do a table dance.
Where's she
Anyway,
You sound tired.
I'm
really fun to sleep.
exhausted.
Oh Lord.
Well, it's good having you, brother. Just come back whenever you
Let's
want.
go for hours, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go for another 2 hours.
You can have some poker
I want
with
to
the
come
boys.
back.
You are allowed. That is always that is acceptable.
Here for 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
2 weeks.
Oh, please throw
Do
it
not
up.
visit
I'll be
Real Life
sad.
Shows on X. Don't follow it.
Too late. They're there right now. Real Alex Jones on X. Did you get it?
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy.
A giant.
Right up there.
Whoa! What the? Hold on. What did he just say? What? Can we rewind that? What did he just say? I know that was the title of the video. I didn't expect. This is not what I expected. But
Real Life Shows on X. Don't follow it.
dude, all I hear is sushi and poker with the boys. I mean, it's a perfect impersonation. I think I found my new character, chat. Strung out Alex Jones.
Too late. They're there right now. Real
he
Alex
said
Jones on X. Did you get it?
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy. Right up there. We're like, I mean, elevated,
jellyfish.
teleported up into Joe Rogan's vagina.
Let me explain this.
Yeah, please do.
I would like some clarification as to what is going on right now. He said what you thought he said. Yeah, I had to rewind that. I've never been too drunk to talk. I've been too drunk to be conscious, but moments before I could talk relatively fine.
So at the very beginning of this interview, probably the first thing Alex Jones says is something about Joe Rogan's supposed vagina. And what they're referring to is Joe Rogan said he was uncomfortable with having a wrestling match on the White House lawn while there's a war on because Joe thinks it would be a target for an Iranian strike. And
Oh, wait a second.
Which is wild.
Is that part true?
about Rogan?
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. They played a clip of Rogan saying, like, I'm concerned about
He's
if this
being pro-trans. Yeah, it's exactly it.
war's still on. If we can do
Don't
this.
you think also maybe there should be a concern of like, it sort of feels like it's in poor taste when we have like U.S. service men and women in harm's way.
Yeah.
to have a spectacle on the front lawn of the White House.
Little bit bread and circusy, and I mean, even I've seen fighters say, "Yeah, I don't want to fight for a bunch of billionaires who are covering up for the Epstein files." Yeah.
But instead, Rogan says it's a security issue.
Yeah, and so.
Which, like, I mean, kind of, right? Like, he's kind of right. I mean, I don't expect Elon to just, like, attack the White House or whatever. That's, like, not a thing that's going to happen. The likelihood of that happening is incredibly low. But, I mean, Trump started a war, and he is currently, along with Israel, attacking another country's capital, right? So yeah, it stands to reason that, like, maybe they could attack our capital or whatever, but it's really it's really very low chance of that actually happening.
You can imagine the Iranians saying, let's just wait and
projecting
see
onto the left what you're actually
if they
doing.
do some stunt on the lawn of the White House. That's when we strike.
85,000 people.
Wait, that's not real though. Because how are they going to? I've heard that number, but how is that even possible?
That's what Dana White said.
Okay, right.
85,000 people on the front on the lawn of the White lawn of the White House.
That's what Dana White said. I'll double check.
No.
On target for ISIS.
No. I've been to that lawn, and you're not fitting 85,000 people on there. Let's just hear this a little bit, because I'm curious about the
how he gets up.
Yeah.
I think you don't want to leave. I think you want to keep talking about this.
I want the memes of Joe Rogan's vagina. Imagine how big it's about to be.
You know, the thing about Joe is
everybody's uncomfortable.
The story gets a lot of traction, which creates this ripple effect where Joe's just a guy with an opinion. And I think he's got pretty good opinions. I agree with a lot of them. I disagree with some of them. And then we end up...
No, Joe's not just a guy with an opinion. Joe Rogan has a incredibly massive podcast. Joe Rogan has an incredibly massive podcast. He's not just a guy, right? Like, he's not just a guy with opinions. So yeah, it kind of it kind of diminishes the amount of reach that Joe Rogan does actually have. Yeah, he's just a little guy. Bulletproof Bullet, AJ is mentally ill, maybe or maybe not. Honestly, I can't really speak on that. Because it's possible that he's like a true believer. It's possible that all of this is just one giant grift, and that he's playing a character, as it's been often said. I think even his wife says that this is like oh no, wait, his wife, I'm pretty sure his wife said that he's a true believer. I don't genuinely I don't know, he might be. 80K is probably enough to make top 5-10 football stadiums. Yeah, no, there's no way. There's no way.
Tim Pool fence sitting.
Leading our story, because all these websites start running Joe Rogan's opinion as if it's the biggest news of the day. Like Joe Rogan said a thing.
Yeah, because Joe Rogan is a massive podcaster, right? Like, say what you will, like, he's a big podcaster. So yeah, it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up, right? In fact, Jesse Waters from Fox News literally described the pipeline, how that works, and how it's intentional. Jesse Waters of Fox News literally explained it and laid it out. People like Joe Rogan and Tim Pool and all these other like influencers and podcasters and YouTubers or whatever, they say something, and then that gets picked up by like the bigger fish, like a Joe Rogan, and then he says something, and then that gets picked up by like Fox News, and then like, you know, and by the time it gets to prime time, you have people like Jesse Waters talking about it, right? Like that, literally, he described that exact pipeline of how the propaganda machine works. People are talking about how Kamala lost because she wouldn't go on his show, but just a little guy. Yep. A true believer is a guarantee of mental illness? No, not necessarily. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm just saying that I'm just not the guy to make those calls. You know what I mean? Yeah, the right-wing human centipede of misinformation. That's probably an apt descriptor. A bad lefty, an apt exactly what it is. If you've never watched a human centipede, don't. Okay.
And then the issue for us is, this is what people are asking us about. Like, hey, did you see what Joe Rogan was saying about the UFC, this UFC fight? And I'm like, okay, I guess. Like what was it, a couple days ago?
Yeah.
They were like, I think that Joe Rogan questioning the war in Iran is big. And it's because he sort of represents independent voters.
The everyman.
Exactly. So
yeah,
when
the multi millionaire everyman. Got it. This is so wild. This is so wild. The everyman Joe Rogan, who got like tens of millions of dollars, right? Like the guy is incredibly rich. If you've never watched The Human Centipede, then just don't live your life happy. You're that way. True. Where's Bunker Cat? I'm pretty sure Bunker Cat was doing streams, wasn't he? She couldn't get onto a show because of her campaign schedule, I thought. I don't know. 100 million contract with Spotify. Thank you. Yeah, like the everyman, okay? The everyman $100 million contract with Spotify, Joe Rogan. Got it. Alex Jones, the OG lolcow. High Court ruled in favor of Owen Jones in BBC libel case about his report published on Drop Site News proving BBC pro-Israeli bias during the Gaza genocide. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Did you ever watch Joe Rogan when he started out with his podcast? Nope.
he has an opinion, all these news outlets write about it. I'm sure it's actually pretty weird for Joe, who's just a comedian hanging out with his friends doing a podcast.
Yeah, just
but
a
he
comedian,
represents
guys.
the middle of the road voter. So everybody has to be like,
just a comedian. Oh, I think you're right, Soul Life. I think you're right. Kamala wanted to be on the podcast, but Rogan said he'd only do it if she comes to the studio and stayed for 3 hours. Yeah, I think that's it. You're right. You're most likely right. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. There were several others that she could have gone into, but yeah. I saw Rogan back when he was sponsored by Fleshlights. Really? My goodness. Joe Rogan started out with very little and his stoner buddies. He had been on Fear Factor that I do know. But the production quality wasn't clear in the early days. Rogan only had like a 1 to 2 year window where his podcast was watchable. And the Harris campaign wanted to pick out the questions too, if I remember correctly. Yeesh. I've been too lefty to watch that cesspool. What, the Joe Rogan Experience? Yeah, I don't blame you, honestly.
there's a middle of the road vote is going to say a thing. We have to run it, and he's the avatar. He's the avatar of it. The avatar. So Joe, that's why you represent the middle of the road. Yeah.
Yep. I'll come back next week as I'm ready to go.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right,
talk to Lisa. She'll get you set up.
You did well, Lord Vader.
Do it.
Do it. Issue with Rogan is he can talk to the smartest guy in the world, have all these questions answered, and then next episode he goes back to default. He can't learn. Yeah, he's not paid to though, right? he's paid to push a pro-capitalist narrative, right? The people that he's been having on are just like a bunch of right-wing people, far-right people. Most of the time, like, it's very rare that he has like a left-leaning person, but most of the time it's just pro-capitalist, pro-oligarchy propaganda, as it were. Incidentally, he's also gotten more wealthy, and so have his guests, and so the level of wealth, you know, you are pro-communist. You are pro-communist. Are you asking me? The far right people happen for a very specific reason. Earlier, Joe was very pro-Occupy Wall Street, very anti-government. It's question? It's question? You'll get there. You'll get there, buddy. I believe in you.
Do it.
Do it.
I love you guys.
Do it. All right, man. Thanks,
Thanks,
Good.
Take care of yourself, man.
Use the force, Jones.
Luke Radowski.
Joe was never equipped for the political battlefield he found himself in the middle of. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem. He never recognizes that. He never recognizes that because he's not really paid to, right? Like Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan is incentivized by the $100 million put in his plate to do exactly that, to never equip himself at all and have any actual analysis on whatever he's engaging with. Gets triggered. Yeah, look at me being all triggered. Defo a lefty I see. Wow. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. I think it's at this point clear that Rogan was always a grifter. Yeah, or even before the money, he was cooked. He's more likely a product of all the hits to the head. He's not just savvy enough for this arena. Who is triggered? I don't know. Some imaginary, an imaginary alternative universe streamer that he thinks that he's watching. I don't know. It's always confession and projection from the chuds. Yeah, this is kind of how you deal with the trolls, right? Like, bro, where do you think you are?
This guy like 20 years ago.
You did. 21 years. 21 years.
What's coming out? What's up, room?
No.
It got creepy.
Pete, let's go. When we first meet.
We met in Chicago during the 9/11 Truth Rally with the.
Oh, we met at the 9/11 Truth Rally. Oh, yeah.
The 9/11. Oh, Jesus, that's fantastic. The Jeffrey Epstein experience. So drunk, so funny, sad he's anyone's hero. There's an uncomfortable amount of people that are, there's an uncomfortable amount of people that genuinely think that Alex Jones is a voice of truth.
We were all just, oh my God, I can't. This is amazing.
This reminds me of every interaction I've had with a wasted individual. You keep thinking it's over, and it just keeps going.
You think you're out. Yeah. Wait, how do I know you?
I've been here for 2 hours. You just noticed I was here?
Just recognizing you?
Oh my God.
Yeah, Alex Jones
I know you.
Burger and sushi with the boys.
2 hours ago? Oh yeah, you're a great guy.
Is there some interaction with Ozempic and alcohol I don't know about?
All of his calories.
There is apparently, I have read that there is interaction between Ozempic, alcohol, and losing every penny of millions upon millions of dollars.
In your life,
those three things. When you combine those three things, it's really dangerous.
It's a working paper. It's not peer reviewed yet. But yeah, there are connections.
Exactly. honestly.
Joe had an Anna phase where he was right-wing curious. He flirted with it after that he called himself a leftist, and 2 years later COVID happened and he just embraced the UFC, bro. Yeah, but like again, that just tells me that he didn't really have left-wing ideologies, right? Like he just kind of was going with whatever was in front of him, right? Because like I levied the same criticism to Anna, right? If she was actually a progressive, then like she would still be a progressive, right? Like we all went through the COVID stuff, right? I didn't change, right? Like I didn't change my fundamental values of what I believe in. You know what I mean? Joe was always a soft libertarian in my opinion, probably. Where the money winds blow. I just saw something on the news about alcohol sales being down and them linking it to Ozempic and those type of drugs. Really?
Alcohol and loss of tens of millions of dollars don't go together.
There's a broker.
Oh, there's getting up here. We can watch him get up.
Okay.
Oh, here he is. I think.
Let's see him stick the landing.
Love you guys.
Let's go back
Many
to talk.
Western progressives have problem. They are not untouched by the brainwashing at their core. They're still neoliberalists and imperialists. It may be buried a little deeper, but it's still there. I don't have right-wing friends. Joe does. Joe signed up for Scientology back in the day. He was like level 2. Jesus.
Talking about the
More to do
Claude
with
having a
drugs.
soul.
More to do with better drugs.
Claude having a giant pee-pee.
It's got a soul.
Claude has an 8-foot dick.
So here's I think the big issue comes down to this. By all means, you can argue it doesn't have a soul, it's not alive. But if you put a human being
Temple
behind
is so worried
a
about
chat,
getting demonetized or something right now.
God.
He's just like, I gotta be able to monetize this.
Is Alex Jones coming back this week?
See you here for 2 weeks.
I'm coming to play poker. Am I gonna be on?
Wow. That is fun. I certainly hope that he comes back.
They are going after weed again because alcohol sales are down. These moron thinks weed overlaps with alcohol. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm ready to be a class trader. Alright, so some stuff and things happened. The president threatened to massively blow up the entirety of the world's largest gas field. Fantastic stuff. If Iran attacks Qatar again. Tehran was acting in response to Israeli missile attacks yesterday on a facility of South Pars. So yeah, Iran escalated strikes on energy sites. So no, let me tell you, no, Iran didn't escalate anything. Okay. So it's so infuriating because you can see it in the same sentence, right? Iran escalated strikes on energy sites in response to an Israeli attack on South Pars, the world's largest gas field, okay? So that's not Iran escalating. You can't escalate if you're the one being attacked, okay? Like definitionally, that's not how that works. And the framing of this, the framing of this is pretty disgusting and a disservice. And the framing is very Israeli. Like, how do you escalate something if you're the one being attacked? Does that make sense? Right? Yeah, Iran retaliated to being attacked exactly in the same way that it was attacked. So this is not an escalation, but like the framing of this is so frustrating, and every time we have to go over it, we have to kind of call it out. Like I know it's mainstream news, but every time we're gonna call it out. They want you to say it out loud, just ignore them. No, I want to make sure to correct the record for people that may be watching that, you know, read you know, mainstream media. So I just want to make sure that if they just happen to be listening, you know, and just encourage people to also like pay attention to what you're reading as well. Apparently AI Netanyahu has admitted that US Israel cannot win, but he wants to do as much damage as possible before stopping. This is going to increase EV sales in the EU. This is solar panel sales. Yeah, I don't know about that. Chat always wins. We got your back. Operation Epic Fury escalation. The US also attacked a desalination point. That's bad. That's bad. The really bad. Yeah, it is completely removed from reality. Iran involved in aggressive green governmental strategy to enforce Paris Accords. No need for you to fight the small fights where we're here. No, I mean obviously, like you guys are pretty aware, but also like, you know, there may be folks that aren't in chat. There may be folks that look at VODs later down the road. There may be folks that just don't participate in chat. So I kind of have to like do the due diligence, even though we all know, right? Like I'm pretty sure that a lot of us are very media savvy and can pick out, you know, and can pick this out. But I gotta do it, you know. I gotta do it. It's like there's a fire sale on Evil right now. Everyone's trying to get in as much as possible before it pops. Yep. Epstein Fury, yes. That's right, bad lefty, true. Oil and gas prices soared again as the strikes intensified the global energy crisis. You mean the gas again? This is framing from the oil industry. Like they always frame oil as energy, right? But anyways, President Trump said there would be no further attacks on South Pars unless Iran attacks Qatar again, which in this case, the U.S. will massively blow up the entirety of the gas field. Fantastic. Trump said the U.S. knew nothing about the Israeli attack, though a senior official close to Qatar's leadership disputed that to NBC News, because obviously, right? NPT, thank you for the follow. European leaders seeking to stabilize oil prices said they were ready to join appropriate efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, while Iran has attacked ships to effectively block the vital shipping waterway. Because again, they were attacked by the U.S. and Israel. I don't know what Europe stands to gain from here by trying to insert themselves here, but I don't think they should help at all. I heard it's 6:50 in San Diego. Yeesh. I feel like most lefties are media literate. The literacy leads us towards the left. I agree. My solar panel's still cool, not panicking yet anyways. Oh no, it's bad. It's bad. Bad. It's bad. I wouldn't be surprised if like average, okay, and I'm talking about like average, if we start seeing like prices go like above $5, just like everywhere, even in like the cheapest places, I wouldn't be surprised if like we wake up to like $5.50 or $5 or something like that very soon. It's not great. Nobody seems to notice that anytime anything at all happens, they raise the price of gas that was processed weeks, if not months ago, and they virtually never let that gas go down again. The price, yeah. Here in Cali, it's under $6 still. Yeesh. $7 to $4 across the states. Yeesh. I wish we cared about renewable energy here. Yep. YouTube doesn't let me post links, so I'm heading to Twitch. Yeah, check the temps. Oh boy. Yeah, everything's going fine. Things are going great. Meanwhile, the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, has floated easing sanctions on Iranian oil stranded on tankers to shore up supplies. A F-35 made an emergency landing after suspected enemy fire, so that's cool. Wasn't the F-35 an absurdly expensive jet that has like a lot of problems? Here in Cali, it's always been 5. It's going up to 6 and as high as 8 right now. Yeesh. Or here in southern Michigan earlier today. Yankees have no idea how much the rest of us pay for gas, petrol, $2 a liter, and that was last week. Yeesh. Yeesh. Oh, haha. Yeah, the right-wingers are less intelligent than left-wingers. Yeah, obviously, because, like, the way, like, this doesn't need, like, a lot of explaining. It's just kind of, like, it's kind of, like, I don't want to say common sense, but it makes logical sense, okay? Because people who tend to lean left, are people who tend to question things, are people who tend to look for research, right, and try to analyze data, regardless if they end up being like always right or wrong or whatever. The point being is that like left-leaning people tend to just try to find and analyze the world around them before making an opinion, right? Like when we talk about Medicare for all or something like that, this is based on this is based on economic data that you can point to and say, hey, this just makes freaking sense. Versus people who tend to be more right-wing, they don't tend to question the world around them because they've been taught or they've been conditioned to just accept what the higher authority says. And this makes sense. The authors claim that people with low intelligence gravitate towards right-wing views because they make them feel safe, because you don't have to question anything. Crucially, people's education level is not what determines whether they're racist or not. It's innate intelligence. The publish, yada yada yada. Cognitive abilities and critical informing impressions of other people and being open-minded. Individuals with lower cognitive abilities may gravitate towards more socially conservative right-wing ideologies that maintain the status quo. Yeah, because of the sense of order. Right, because it's easier that way, right? You don't have to question anything. Data from 1958 to 1970 was analyzed. So yeah, I mean, like this is pretty. This tracks, right? Yes, the F-35 has issues and costs us hundreds of billions of dollars. Fantastic. So yeah, I mean this tracks. This tracks. Yeah. The U.S. said it struck Iranian missile sites along the coast of the Strait. Iran's parliament speaker, one of the regime's powerful surviving figures, said the Strait won't return to its pre-war status. We already talked about this. Joe Kent story. More than 2,000 people have been killed across the Middle East. In Iran, Israeli and American strikes have killed more than 1,200 people, according to the Iranian Red Crescent Society. At least 850 killed in Lebanon, 13 died in Israel. 13 U.S. service members have been killed and 2 more of non-combat causes. So, yeah. Are the new Trump warships are asked? Probably. It's a Trump ship. Anything that man touches is just garbage.
Iran has launched a new wave of attacks targeting natural gas facilities as well as at least one oil refinery in the Gulf Arab states. Now, this is coming after Israel launched an assault on Iran's South Pars natural gas field. Now, this field is offshore in the Persian Gulf and Iran shares it with Qatar. But it's incredibly important for the Islamic Republic because 80% of all electricity generated by Iran relies on
quite possibly under 3K in Iran right now.
natural gas. Meanwhile, Iranians use it for heating their homes and cooking food. This is crucial for Iran, particularly as its theocracy is pushed ever closer to the edge by a series of Israeli and American airstrikes that have decimated its military, as well as seen top leaders in the country killed. That's why Iran has retaliated with these attacks on the oil infrastructure, on the natural gas infrastructure. And while the Strait of Hormuz is sort of closed right now because of these Iranian attacks, anything that does this much damage to oil and natural gas fields will mean that after this war is over, whenever that is, it'll take even longer for those supplies to enter the global market, meaning energy prices could remain elevated for some time. And right now, the Gulf Arab states are weighing what to do. We heard from Saudi's foreign minister overnight who said that any trust that had with Iran was gone now. We don't know if that means that the Gulf Arabs are going to allow the Americans to potentially use their military bases to launch attacks on Iran, or if that could mean the Gulf Arab states engage in combat directly with the Islamic Republic. But all signs point to further escalation in this war that so far shows no signs of stopping.
Because we started it. Just to be clear, because we decided to start it on behalf of Israel. I wonder if the F-47 is asked to. It will be. It's about nonsense. It's about a nonsensical line item on bill of landing. It's not about a good product. Yeah, that's true, right? Because that's the privatized section for you. So yeah, that's kind of where if you're wondering why gas is exorbitantly expensive right now, don't worry, it's going to probably get worse. Pentagon weighs sending more troops to the Middle East. The discussions, while evolving, could mark a new drastic step in the war. The Pentagon is considering sending more troops to the Middle East, a move that threatens to escalate the war and violate President Trump's promise to not engage American service members in long-term conflicts abroad. Oh, please, please, like, since when can you hold Donald Trump to a promise, okay? A known pathological liar. Okay. The U.S. has already about 50,000 troops in the region. Any increase hints the potential for more significant involvement, including sending service members into Iran. The size and scope of additional deployments are still evolving, according to two people familiar with the talks. But the fact that discussions are happening at all is a significant step forward in a war. Trump said 3 weeks ago was all but won. Yeah. The conversations are occurring as Iran's attempt to block the Strait of Hormuz, with a fifth of the world's oil's pass-through, have upended the global economy, and U.S. allies rebuff Trump's efforts to get involved. Not attempt. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed. It's closed, basically. It is not safe to go there. You can see it. Isn't the Hummer EV now that fixes everything? True. Iranian ministers reserve the right to strike Ukraine in response to Zelensky assisting Israel with drones and operators. Maybe Brian Berlick is correct. It's all one war. And Iran did it with just 24 drones. Yeah, don't forget to boop the like button. Additional troops would add to the Navy ships already heading to the region, a massive number of warships and aircraft that have pummeled Iran for weeks. Trump on Thursday told reporters he's not putting troops anywhere, and if he were, I certainly wouldn't tell you, but I'm not putting troops. What? Okay. The U.S.-Israel war shows no sign of abating. I like this. Yeah, you are a pogger, okay? Everyone in chat is a pogger, okay? The U.S.-Israel war. Yeah, I like this. This is exactly how it should be framed each and every time. The U.S. and Israel war. That's right. Shows no sign of abating. Iran continues its counterattacks, okay, and has managed to largely shut down traffic on the Strait. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told reporters on Thursday that they would bring the largest strike package yet, just like yesterday was, but gave no indication when the fighting would end. He also confirmed the Pentagon was weighing $200 billion. And to supplement a supplemental request to cover the cost of the military action in Iran. No, say it ain't so. Poggers like Sagar. Yeah, it's just where my mind goes. The 3 Navy ships packed with 2,200 Marines will arrive in the region as soon as next week from the Pacific, according to a defense official who, like others interviewed, was granted anonymity to discuss internal planning. This could give the White House the ability to push troops in one of several islands in the Persian Gulf to help protect commercial shipping in the narrow Strait of Hormuz. The Marines could also be part of an operation to take Karg Island, which is Iran's main point of shipping oil. And located further north, the U.S. hit 90 military targets on the island last week while leaving the oil infrastructure alone. We can knock out the oil in Karg Island, Trump said. The only thing we didn't take down was the oil, because if we knock out, I call them the pipes, very complex, but if you do that, it'll take them forever to rebuild. Yeah, okay. Let's see, $2 billion for an active war or health insurance for folks living in the U.S. Tough decision here. Welcome, Wolf Glenn. Big fan of rhymes and alliteration. Reuters first reported on the potential for more troops. The White House referred questions to Trump's previous comments about sending troops. The Defense Department did not respond for a request for comment. So it seems like more and more likely that we may see troops being sent to Iran for Israel, and you could see that the small pieces are kind of coming together to point in that direction. While obviously it's not certain, it is looking more and more likely that this is what's going to happen. Again, the Senate has voted down efforts to restrict Trump's Iran war powers. The Senate defeated a war powers resolution on yesterday that aimed to block President Trump from ramping up the war with Iran as the operation approaches a 4th week. In a 53-47 vote, a Democrat-led effort to restrict Trump from taking military action in Iran fell short for a 3rd time. Senator John Fetterman, can't find Fetterman, Pennsylvania was the sole Democrat to vote against the advancing resolution, of course. And GOP Senator Rand Paul supported. How do you lose like the moral argument to Rand Paul? Okay, Rand Paul took the objectively more moral position than John Fetterman. Wild. Wild. 10 billion per year budget solves the homelessness America-wide, yet the War Department has a 1 trillion per year budget, basically. The U.S. troops are still on the way from the PN area. I thought, yeah, they're being moved, supposedly. Nadia, welcome. Rather optimistic to presume it'll come in at a mere 200 billion, I guess. That's what they're asking for. This thing could be a lot more. I mean, like, just in the first like couple of days, it was what, 10 billion almost, just in a few days. So yeah, I could totally see it going way more. But yeah, that's just the initial. That's the initial scratch up front. Okay. Jesus Christ. We might see. I mean, how much was the war on terror? It was like trillions, wasn't it? Like 1 point something trillion dollars. This is gonna make the war on terror, right? The GW war look like nothing. Look like a small blip in the books, right? Yeah, 11 billion in 2 days, if I remember correctly. That tracks. That's about right from what I remember. I mean, I could be misremembering, but that tracks. It was a lot of money. But of course, we always have money for war. 200 billion, $1 trillion, 36 cajillion dollars. If it's for war, we'll find it. By God. If it's for war and bombing brown people, by God, we'll find it. We lost 100 billion with Cheney and Halliburton. yeah. The Pentagon hasn't passed an audit, as far as I can remember in living memory. But anyways, there's a school of thought suggests that the Marines will be used as pirates, boarding and seizing tankers that Iran allows to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Possible. That is a possibility. I don't know. American trillions are the rest of the world's billions. American billions are the rest of the world's milliards, etc. Gotcha. Yeah, in decades. They have something huge and heinous on Fetterman. He's also pretty heinous and huge. Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, to like, man, this guy, either that or like, you know, the stroke really just kind of cooked him. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But that's also possible, right? The paper towel dispenser is like 50k line item each. Yeesh. One second, folks. Need to go back to my soundboard. Not enough to buy an age not to blame the stroke, but Donald sounds like a cop-out. Possible, yeah, I mean, possibly. Maybe he was always like this. I don't know. Maybe he was paid and that's the end of the... It's just as simple as he was just corrupt, you know? He paid John Fetterman enough and, like, that's it. And that's all it took. Just the right amount. And now he's, like, Israel's, like, greatest champions or whatever. You know? Yeah, more like 20k ripped off. We told China you make the stuff for you and we'll pay you with the dollar we print stuff for us. Yep. True, money can do that. Yep. It's a complete easy explanation too, right? The guy all of a sudden from like one day to the next seemingly, right? Obviously it's an exaggeration, but very quickly all of a sudden like this man turns into Israel's greatest warrior. But yeah. CREAM, like cream, like the band. Fetterman is just dishonest, end of story. Yeah, it's quite possible that it's just a grift, right? It was just a grift, nothing else. There's nothing else to ahead of that, 'cause that's a perfectly good explanation, right? Like, it was just a grift. Oh, cookies rule everything around me. Oh, okay, gotcha. MMT may not apply as well without the dollar privilege. I'm semi-aware of MMT. In the theme of Wu-Tang, once the world drops the US dollar as a reserve currency, the US is cooked. Oh, cash rules everything around me. Oh, okay. I should have known that. I was like, wait. Cookies dough. This sounds like this sounds like it's in the theme of Wu-Tang. Of course. Wrong. The resolution led by Democratic Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey would have directed the president to remove the United States Armed Forces from hostilities within or against Iran, unless explicitly authorized by a declaration of war, specific authorization for use of military force. Congress has not authorized military force against Iran. The vote came as Republicans are holding an unusual and lengthy debate on election legislation amid pressure by Trump, who has threatened to withhold his signature from other bills that reach his desk until the measure passes. Democrats are able to force the war powers vote despite the floor takeover because the resolution is privileged. The Senate previously defeated an Iran war powers resolution introduced by Democratic Senator Tim Kaine on March 4th. It was the second time in less than a year that the upper chamber had voted down the effort to rein in Mr. Trump's ability to strike Iran, following a similar vote after last June's airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites. This shows, like, first of all, what blows my mind is, like, effectively, the guy is just doing everything, like, unilaterally, right? Because there's no congressional approval. So Congress is basically, like, relegating its authority to the executive. That's what's happening here. Congress is just surrendering its job to the executive. But as the Iran war approaches the 1-month mark, Mr. Trump has yet to make a clear exit strategy and has not ruled out sending ground forces into the country. The president said he expects the war to end soon, but hasn't had a specific timeline. Yeah. After the early March defeat, a group of Democratic senators vowed to keep pressing the issue of Secretary Marco Rubio, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did not testify in public about the war. The Democratic senators behind the war's power push indicated in a letter that to Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a South Dakota Republican, that they would abandon votes on a handful of resolutions if Trump officials testified at public hearings. Yeah, but, like, look, I don't care. Like, the action needs to be taken. Okay. This is beyond. This is beyond, like, oh, well, if Mr. Trump would just kindly stop, you know, what he's doing. Like, no, this is the type of stuff, like, hey, man, you understand that you're all going to jail, right? Like, that's the kind of stuff the Democrats need to be doing, but they aren't, because they're feckless, spineless losers, and in some cases, just outright collaborators, and that's part of why we're here. Part of the reason. We're going to use every lever we have to stop business as usual and force the Senate to do what it should have done already, Booker told reporters earlier this month. Okay. Senator Chris Murphy, Connecticut Democrat, accused Trump of the Trump administration of dodging public hearings on Iran out of fear of losing any public support for the war. Brother, public support for the war is already, like, below the toilet, okay? Like, it's not, like, public support for the war in Iran isn't, like, in the toilet. It's like in the septic tank by now, okay? I don't think they can defend this war, Murphy told reporters earlier this month. I think they'll lose votes in the Senate if they actually have to go in front of the American public and explain why gas prices have to go are so high. Again, we can see it, right? Like, we can see it. The only people, okay, that are not going to be on board with this, the only people that are on board with this and don't see reality are the MAGA cult people, and there's no reaching those people. Most like non-MAGA people, okay, even normies, can see the price at the gas pump and can see and connect. Like, hey, wait a minute. All the stuff that's happening in Iran is coming home. This is a 1-to-1 connection here, okay? But anyways. It's like at 90% among conservatives. Yeah, those people, those people, forget about those people. They're gonna say and believe whatever Trump says and believes. Okay, that's it. I'm talking about like the other like semi normal people. They're gonna look at the gas pumps and they can see the gas prices. I'm still 36 minutes behind current. I'm not sure if I can tell from 90% abstaining around everything is 90% approval from conservatives. Yeah, no, the conservatives are largely on board with this. I'm talking about like the rest of the people, right? The people that aren't in this circular Venn diagram, right? Gen X and probably largely supports it too, and I would imagine that largely conservative factions of those people. It's funny how pronouncing Iran to the correct way is a personal insult to MAGA. Really? That's so odd. What a bunch of snowflakes. When Trump says many people have said it, he's telling everyone he's lying to her face. Yep. I'm Gen X and I'm probably against it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to be conservative in the Gen X crowd. Today my boss is telling me how Obama's nuclear deal caused Iran to start enriching uranium, literally the opposite of reality. Yeah, I mean, every story of like your boss is just like nightmare stuff, man. I don't know how you do it, Soul Life. I guess, you know, capitalism and whatnot, but yeesh. Yeesh, Soul Life. I feel for you. And explain whether we're engaged in regime change or whether we're not. Explain how they're going to get nuclear weapons and nuclear material without the ground invasion. The Trump administration, it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, Trump could come out and say, like, I don't know, we just need to go in. And, like, the MAGA people will just say, sure. The Trump administration's top intelligence officials testified on Wednesday to the Senate Intelligence Committee in a hearing that was pegged to release the annual worldwide threats assessment. The questions largely focused on Iran. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, no more regime change wars. Gabbard. No war with Iran. Gabbard. Yeah. Remember those T-shirts? Yeah, I remember those T-shirts that she was selling. So I said boss is an arsehole. Yep. My first boss was from Iran. Took him like a year to get me to pronounce it correctly. Missed that, dude. I can still hear him say Yala. Heat coming in hot. Subscribing with the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. You caught the end of it. Mostly. But, do not fear. I will catch you up in like 2 seconds, okay? So, what happened was, the situation is, FUBAR. And, the situation is still FUBAR. And, And Alex Jones is my new impersonation character from now on. That's what's happening. When Tulsi Gabbard deferred to Mr. Trump when pressed on the president's claim that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States. So she couldn't even answer that question. The director of the national intelligence couldn't answer that. Oh, this is the worst timeline except for that AJ part. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. We're just trying to keep the information going. But it doesn't look good. But yeah. I found zonked out of his mind Alex Jones impersonation to be my new character thing, because it's so easy. You have to explain what FUBAR means to all the youngsters who haven't watched Black Hawk Down. Am I aging myself a little bit? The administration and most congressional Republicans have argued that Mr. Trump acted within his legal authority when ordering strikes on Iran. In a letter to Congress in early March, the president said the strikes were necessary to eliminate threats. What threats? Unclear. Despite my administration's repeated efforts to achieve a diplomatic solution to Iran's malign behavior, unclear what that behavior was. Threat to the United States and its allies, they mean Israel. You mean Israel. Indeed. And partners become untenable, the president wrote. He acknowledged that it is not possible at this time to know the full scope and duration of the military operation that may be necessary. Fantastic. Yeah, so if you didn't catch it, I'll play the small clip of it.
Tim,
do a poker game with you and a few other people. Not so much about poker, but about having fun, goofing off, and I think it'd be really fun to play a game.
I'm ready. I'm ready. But don't follow me at Real Life Shows on X. We're getting shut down.
Poker and sushi with the boys. Yeah, easy impression. Okay, easy impression. I think there's a split between halves of Gen X. True. I would probably agree with that assessment. Israel convinced Trump that Iran was trying to assassinate him. That's also a thing. That's also a thing that was floating around, but like none of that ever like came to be proven, but whatever. 14 minutes behind current. You got this. And there's a little brother and sister such as still officially Gen X, and the rest of who are true Gen X. Anyways, that's the that's the new character, okay? Actually, I was just reminded of something before we go. Let's see if I can, bring it up. Oh, here we go.
Why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right? You know, he's asking me, no, you believe in surprise, I think much more so than us.
What do we even say? Like, what do we even say to this? What do we even say to this, right? Like, holy racism, Batman. Yeah, embarrassing as usual. Like, it's just like, what do you even say to this? You can dance if you wanna. Personally, DTA, this is when Trump is at his best. Normally career-ending gaffes. Yeah, but like this isn't like career-ending gaffes. This is just like complete like disrespect, right? Wish I could say it was a good run, but it was not true. I heard again that the Japan is sending warships to the Strait. This time is Chiron on BBC. Possibly, I don't know. Anyways, what do we even say to this, man? I loved her face through the whole thing. Yeah, like that. I mean, that is the appropriate response. I mean, like, I couldn't even like.
Why didn't you tell US?
Just. I flabbergasted. Like, is this guy for real? Yep. Yeah, disrespectful and racist. Just gratuitously alienating leadership of various nation states. We're doing great. We're doing fantastic. She had a look like, here it comes. Is everyone ready? This is what I have to deal with. Oof. The brain of a racist toddler riddled with dementia. Eesh. Oh my god. Anyways, folks, it's about to be 7 o'clock. Yeah, disgusting levels of racism and just oh, man, this guy. Yeah, she's probably thinking, is Ashton Kutcher gonna pop out of somewhere? Is this the real world? Yeah, that's the real world. That's the kind of stuff you can expect from you know the good old US of A. We're doing great, folks. Some races is part of how racists allow other races to still exist. Yep. The president of the United States, I guess. Oh, how he throws his arms in the air, does the Fozzie Bear. I like how absolutely, but that changes another rest. Like how absolutely stupid and unforced error Trump is. Yep. It's midnight here. Yeesh. We are in the upside down. We'll get some rest, Nadia. We are in the upside down, folks. Thank you all for being here. And she's a right winger too. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Japan doesn't have a very large left-leaning part. Yep. Trump wants citizens of U.S. vassal states to die in defense of Epstein classmates. True. Thank you all for being here. If you want to support the channel directly, check out all the links. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hassler. Thank you, Ladybug. You all are the MVPs. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate all the support. You guys are what makes this channel go. If you want to support the channel, there's the links. And spread the word, folks. It's one of the best ways to help the channel is spreading the word. We're here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Check out my show on this space every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I appreciate it. Thank you all. The U.S. doesn't have a left-wing party either. That's true. That is very, very true. Have a good weekend. You too. Thank you. Appreciate it. As always, folks. Yeah, 100% correct. Thank you all for being here. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one Monday. See ya.
Lots of breeze are shining sails. Don't believe it.
Alright, folks, hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye bye. Yeah, would you like capitalism with the Punisher logo or capitalism with the rainbow flag?